Hello and welcome to Face Up on Channels Television. I'm Nell Taigwe. Now, the wind of defection appears to be blowing many politicians from the opposition parties to the ruling All Progressives Congress, especially after the 2015 general elections. Some school of thought believe that the mass defection is a sign of a lack of a clear distinction between the parties in terms of ideologies and philosophy, while some others attribute the exodus to the craving for wealth and power. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Foreign Affairs and Diaspora, Pt. was quoted in the early part of the year saying the rate of defection is shameful. Why are people moving to all these parties? Are these defections healthy for the nation's democracy? Are the reasons for the cross-carpeting viable? Is Nigeria gradually turning into a one-party state? Why does it seem as if everyone wants to be a part of the winning team? Is that what is it? Is that what it is? Well, we hope we can get some answers today. We have in the studio PDP chieftain Segun Shomi. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good evening.
And on this other side, Onyeka Chubani, a legal practitioner. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Newton.
So, gentlemen, let's take your stance. What is your take? Is Nigeria gradually turning into a one-party state? Your position, sir?
No, of course not. Nigeria can never become a one-party, not under the watch of the PDP. Those who move from political party to political party have many reasons for doing so. First of all, we must be clear in our mind that it's allowed. The law allows it. They're free to associate anywhere they may like, but there's also a moral burden for them.
Okay.
How can you?
Don't go too far. We'll come back. Let's hear from Mr. Bani. Mr. Bani?
Yeah, the position is that from the look of things, I don't think that Nigeria is moving to one political party state. PDP as an opposition at the national level is still holding sizable number of states, especially the oily states. The oily states, they are completely in charge. And of course, when the 2019 election draws nearer, things will be defined. So the action of the moment is that it looks like everyone wants to defect into APC and all that. Most of them have skeletons in their cupboard, but situation will define, things later.
Okay, you think they are moving?
There are issues.
Okay,
there are issues.
We'll get into that and see exactly what he means by they are trying. It looks as if they are running away from something. But we'll take a moment, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation. You can be a part of us. Send us your tweets to faceup@channelstv.com if it's longer than 140 characters. If you're tweeting at FaceUp today or at Nell Taigwe, we'll be back in a moment. Don't go away. Welcome back. So that question, Nigeria, a one-party state? Well, my guess, both of them have said, no, it is not so. So let's find out exactly why are they moving to one party or mass moving into one party? Is it to be a part of the winning team? Or is it healthy? Is all this movement healthy for our democracy? What's the lead say? Is it true, that school of thought, that they're just seeking for power and wealth? Well, let's see how that goes. So, who wants to go first? Who's asking the first question? Are you asking or is he asking?
Well, let him ask.
Well, I think for us, the PDP definitely, we are the only political party that has democratic credentials. And our party is large.
That's arguable.
Well, our party is large. Where we have brand consistency. We've had our name since the creation of democracy in 1999. Our colors have been the same, our symbols have been the same. And we've had the privilege of running government for 16 undisturbed years with a lot of quality deliverables that we can show the Nigerian nation. Obviously, in our own party, the bigger it got, the more people contested for space, position, platform to vent and get elected, or issues around that. And some of them moved before the election for those purposes. It's not really nice, but it can be tolerated. The one that I find extremely ridiculous, and maybe we all have to discourage it, are those ones who are moving after an election has been won and lost. For me, it means that they're not prepared to put in the hard work where they are to sustain democracy. And unfortunately, where are they going to? They are going to a conglomeration of people or strange bedfellows who have not yet examined whether they are already a political party. For we see that the APC at best is a combination of people with different interests looking after their own small fiefdoms. It is not unusual to imagine, it's laughable, you will ask, why should the Senate President of the APC be the one having the greatest problem in the judiciary because it does not belong to one caucus or the other? So when you are leaving a party like PDP for such a place, you laugh. And if it is for want of money or maybe some expression, you cannot see any evidence to that effect. Most of our members who left the PDP to go and participate in this APC government in one capacity or the other, we have seen them lose their shine. I remember the very ambivalent and very articulate Rotimi Amechi as governor under PDP. He is minister now under APC. I can hardly, it's as if they've even dulling him. I imagine the very flamboyant Bukola Saraki under PDP. His Senate president under APC now is totally cowed. They are moving from a vibrant party and moving into a place where it's almost like a faceless organization run on the whims and caprices of one or two men in caucuses. So I don't see any reason or justification for anybody to leave the best and the biggest party in Africa to go and be jumping around people that don't even know what they want to do in government, let alone how to administer parties.
For a second, I didn't even know you were talking about a political party that I know, and that is PDP. Let me ask you, you know, anytime PDP, you know, members meet, especially the leaders, and then after they lost the election of 2015, and the things you keep on hearing from them, we lost this election because of certain sins we committed. And one of the sins they always mention is impunity. The issue of lack of internal democracy in PDP. I talk about issue of godfatherism. These are issues that they themselves, I'm not talking about any other political party, but members of PDP are saying that we lost this election because of impunity. We lost this election because of lack of internal democracy. And so for a second, I saw you glamorizing PDP. It's a large political party that accommodates every other person. I know flamboyant and Mechi has been reduced to nothing and all that. So I'm asking you, are you aware that PDP, as a political party, lost election in 2015 because of impunity within PDP? No, I'm coming. Lack of internal democracy. People cannot aspire and be given that mandate by the majority, except few. We be the one to give you the power, and then godfatherism. So how do you address this issue? Because the way you were glamorizing PDP, I didn't understand that it was PDP you were talking about.
Mr. Bani,
yeah, go ahead.
You see, you cannot do analysis in vacuum.
Yes, go ahead.
You must compare oranges with oranges and like with like. All of those things that people sometimes say about the PDP, you need to then look at or imagine what obtains in the alternative.
No, even by the PDP themselves, not by I'm talking about PDP now.
I'm trying to answer.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Those things that people say, or sometimes say, even within the PDP, when they have lost out on the process that can be just a little struggle, you will need to take it and compare it with the alternative political position that is in the country. So relative to those cause, the PDP is far more democratic than any other one that we have seen up till now. And it's evident. If you have a vibrant political party, you will generally see a lot of struggle within them. You will see them go to court. You will see them go to pages of papers to have arguments and positions and pull and toss because you are running a human organization. When you find a political party suddenly begin to appear like having the piece of the graveyard, it's either its members are cowed or they already accepted that they can never have a voice, or the entrenched interests within their parties are so strong to the extent that everybody has now been whipped in line.
Or is it possible, Mr. Shomi, is it possible that they have seen that this is something worth waiting for?
How can you imagine human organizations operating that way? Anywhere you see within the internal arrangement of a political party that you can see them struggling for something, then there is something wrong.
How come now that all of them, you know, that you mentioned the good things, you know, that happens in your, and all of a sudden they now want to run into a political party that has, that have piece of graveyard. I'm coming, sir.
How many?
The level of defection, you cannot pretend to be ignorant of this fact. The level of defection of PDP members into the ruling party is after
the election,
unprecedented.
Now,
and let me give you an example.
Give me an example.
Even in Rivers State,
before we won the election.
Hear my story.
Okay.
Even before the election of Wike, this one that he just won. Virtually everyone deserted him.
How come then he won?
I'm coming. It's only God that knows how he, because virtually everyone deserted. In fact, the defection before a week or 2 weeks was like even Wike himself had to come openly and complain that he doesn't know whether it's because they all left him.
Did he win that election or not?
No, he did. He did. What I'm saying.
Okay, so
but before then, they defected. The defection was so much unprecedented. So why would they go into a political party that is as grave as a peaceful as a graveyard?
There are 4 categories of people that are participating in a political party.
Tell me, educate me.
I will tell you a little bit. There are the stakeholders, there are the bystanders, there are the rabble-rousers, and there are those that generally sit on the fence.
So which of them?
The ones you will see the APC bringing to their stadium and drumming and cajoling with their words are usually the rabble-rousers.
Is that right?
People who will not join the party, who are not really registered members of the party, the crowd you rent in the bus stop and you fill your stadium. For Rivers is a typical explanation of why that is true. For if the defection had followed anything remotely near what all of you in the media and in the newspaper are suggesting, how come we K1 landslide?
In the Supreme Court.
The truth of the matter is this, before we digress. People move for many reasons.
Okay.
Some of the stakeholders, like the ones that want to go and contest the election, will go for what you call shopping for platform. Those are unfortunate, but the law allows it because there's that waiver thing they give them. Assuming we do not have that waiver, people will sit in their party, but that's a legal issue. They need to work around it in the assemblies. But apart from those ones, you will not find any meaningful high-ranking politician leave his party when they have lost an election. It's either because they also want to go and profit where they've not invested, and it is a charade on the part of the APC that they cannot even form government in this country without needing the same people that have been running affairs with PDP for 16 years.
Let me just, there are a few names that just popped up here. Some people are tweeting about them. Former Senate leader who is from Cross River State, who was in the PDP.
What's his name?
Domagba.
When was the last time Domagba did anything significant in PDP?
Okay, so he's not significant. Hold on. Former senator under the PDP in Anambra State, Uche Kunife.
The one that they tricked to come to their party only to go and embarrass.
Okay, hold on.
They tricked to their party only to go and embarrass.
I love that word, tricked. Mr. Bani talks about how they are not allowed, they are cowed in the PDP, so they had to leave. For instance, the former spokesman of the House of Representatives, Eseme Ibo.
He said he was cowed in the PDP.